Maraming salamat po for tuning in today, my friends. Okay, let's begin with a word of encouragement. I would like to read to you something that inspires me every day, especially as we face this difficult time of quarantine because of COVID-19. Let's read, if you can see it on the screen with me. Do not worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Today has enough worries of its own. Again, let's read that. Do not worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Today has enough worries of its own. Especially in times of crisis, napakaganda po na isipin na lang natin one day at a time. Hindi po kailangan nating mag-isip kung anong mga possibilities in the coming months dahil hindi po natin kontrolado naman ang mga circumstances at marami pong mga bagay na hindi po talaga pwede nating mabago because of the current situation. That's why do not worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Okay, this is my first broadcast and so I would like to greet everyone who are with me from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Welcome to the Treehouse. This is the venue. Ito po yung ating studio na ginawa dito sa Arete compound where we will shoot videos and shoot a lot of content for all of us. Para po ito din sa mga webinars that we will be doing with Team Arete, we wanted to have a studio that could produce very good material, and I hope that you would be happy with whatever content that we will be doing or creating in this spot. Now, this show will run every Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, the first segment that we will have in this show ay magbabasa po muna tayo ng mga balita. But the big dailies only cover the national news or they have provincial news. But if you're watching this and if you could give us comments in the sections, if you can give us your news in your area where you're at, we could also relay that to all our viewers here in this show. So kung merong balita that you feel everyone should know or everyone should hear about pero hindi po siya napapabalita dito sa national or hindi po siya pumapasok dito sa ating mga big newspapers or big news shows, please give us a heads up so we could let you know at we could read those those news articles for you. Okay? Let's go to the first segment of this show, which is the What's in the News. So what's in the news today? Let's look at the cover of the various big dailies. Let's begin with the cover from the Philippine Star. Okay, the Philippine Star. Let's read the cover or the headline news from the Philippine Star. Unfortunately, it's quite bad news for the Philippine Star for all of us, but bad news might be good for us because then we will be careful, especially itong ating COVID-19. No bad news is really good, but it warns us, then it has a good side. Okay. Philippine Star headline, Cebu City back to ECQ. No easing in Metro Manila. Let's read this. There are no changes in the quarantine restrictions in Metro Manila, but Cebu City has reverted to the strictest lockdown scenario due to the rising number of coronavirus cases that threaten to overwhelm the city's healthcare capacity. Metro Manila, which accounts for about half of the COVID-19 cases, will remain under the more lenient general community quarantine until the end of the month. Cebu City's status, meanwhile, reverted to the strictest enhanced community quarantine from GCQ because of its increasing number of new cases and widespread transmission of COVID-19 in most of its barangays, according to Resolution 46A issued by the Interagency Task Force on the Management of Emergency Infectious Diseases. Talisay, a component city under the province of Cebu, was placed under the modified enhanced community quarantine, the status between ECQ and GCQ for the same reasons. Other areas that will be under GCQ until June 30 are enumerated: Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, Santiago, all the way to Mandaue City, Lapu-Lapu, Visayas, Davao City, Zamboanga City, in Mindanao. Those areas have been enumerated in this news article. The rest of the country have been placed under the most relaxed modified general community quarantine, or just a step away from the so-called new normal, quote and unquote, wherein an area is under quarantine but is still required to observe health measures and physical distancing. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque said Cebu City's healthcare capacity is in danger of being overwhelmed. He said 45% of the city's 60 ventilators are now in use, while all of its 27 intensive care unit beds are now occupied. About 90% of the city's 339 isolation beds and 93% of its 133 bed wards are also being used. Roque said a majority, or 61% of Cebu City's 80 barangays have active COVID-19 cases, 13 of them considered worst hit. The city's virus transmission rate, meanwhile, is 1.3%, as against the national average of 1.07%. Roque said infections in Metro Manila rose by 1,152 in the last 2 weeks, but the region has more available health facilities to accommodate persons who will catch the virus. Yes, there is a. So that's the news from the Philippine Star, and I hope that we could continue to pray for our friends and our countrymen in Cebu City. And just a quick comment, I believe it's important for us to consider yung ngang capacity ng ating mga hospitals. So if you can opt to just stay here in Metro Manila, that might be better, because then you will have facilities, and you will not help in overwhelming the facilities in the regions in case something happens to you. Okay, so let's move on to, tingnan natin ang susunod. Ano ang balita sa Philippine Daily Inquirer? The cover of Philippine Daily Inquirer says latest virus victim is the healthcare law. Is the background music better now? Do you hear it, Madam Director? My friends? It's still loud? Is that better now? Okay, let's read the news from the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Healthcare law, maalala po natin na itong Healthcare Act was passed it was passed last year actually. And then it's supposed to be implemented already. So this is, according to the Philippine Daily Inquirer, one of the victims of COVID-19 is the healthcare law. Let's read the headline from the Philippine Daily Inquirer. The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation on Tuesday moved to postpone the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Law after its premium collection this year fell 90% due to the new coronavirus disease crisis. UHC was crafted to provide health insurance benefits to over 104 Filipinos starting this year. Facing lawmakers in an online hearing, PhilHealth President Ricardo Morales disclosed that the state insurer's revenue might decline by about 100 billion this year until 2024, an outcome that could severely affect the agency's capacity to provide primary health benefits to all Filipinos. As directed by President Duterte, Morales also said PhilHealth had already dropped its plans to require overseas Filipino workers to settle their contributions before they could leave the country. PhilHealth recommends a general delay in the implementation of the UHC and the primary care benefit expansion program. Morales told the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee on the UHC law, chaired by Senator Bongo, "We will be running a deficit by end of 2020, and we will be maintaining the deficit up to 2024. PhilHealth's current collection was just about 10% of what it was last year, Morales said. The collection from the direct contributors is not significant. Since business activities stopped, they did not pay their premiums. He said the payment of PhilHealth's voluntary members also suffered a downturn as the new coronavirus pandemic resulted in an economic downturn and job losses. Morales said the state insurer was expected to spend about 40.7 billion to pay for the medical bills of COVID-19 patients and other expenses related to the pandemic from February this year until January 2020. He said this would financially burden the agency as Congress has allocated only 71.35 billion for UHC implementation this year, or less than half of its original budget request of 153 billion. That's the headline from the Philippine Daily Inquirer. I suggest that you keep updated on these news items. But just a quick comment on that headline. We facilitated the discussion with the Philippine Medical Association on the Universal Health Care Law. And this news for me actually is both good and bad. It's bad because we are not covering our countrymen for this year. At least it will be delayed. But it might also be beneficial because coming from the discussions I had with the doctors last year, the PhilHealth part or the coverage part is just one portion of the Universal Health Care Law. The primary healthcare providers need to be trained. The system of the healthcare in the entire country needs to be put in place. There are many aspects to this law, the training of doctors, and that's why this delay, while sad, might be beneficial for the overall preparation of for the rollout of this universal health care law in the Philippines. So those are the headlines coming from the Philippine Star and the Philippine Daily Inquirer. In the coming days, we might read the headlines as well from other news outfits, but for now let's stick with those two. And so let's move on to other aspects of this show, or to the other parts of this show. Okay, now I would like to say hi. I'm not seeing those who have tuned in yet, so I'm not seeing the comments to those. So I have yet to say hi to some of my friends. That's the challenge in running a show like this, because we're using a software that we're trying to be familiar with yet. And so you can expect a few glitches, but according to my friends, I will get used to this, and maybe in the coming days, we will be more smooth and have less pauses than we are experiencing today. All right. So I'm looking for the page in my... Oh, there. So I can see who's commenting, because the comments... Okay, that's better. All right. So saying hi to my friends. Good morning, Margie. Good morning, James. Good morning, my Kuya Randy Campos from Davao City. Finally, my cousin... Rochi Croak from Toronto, Canada. Hannah. My Atenenen from Dumaguete. Manong Jean Manawis. Good morning. Okay. Kuya Mike Lu. Ate Colleen Laurio. Sharon Villaluz. Good morning, everyone. And of course, Mitzi and Gil Lazaro. Mr. Tito Vlogs, thank you for tuning in on this maiden episode. And yes, Tito Vlogs, or Tito Gilbert Lazaro, who's also running a YouTube show on the stock market, is encouraging me to just get better at it in the coming days. So we have the technology for it, but it's all about the flow, and it will get smoother as we go along. I will be moving on to what I'm more comfortable with, which is really to tell you what's interesting, because I am a speaker and trainer, and so the show that I run should have something interesting. This is the point where you can call the kids, because this is where Kuya Mark will tell a story about what's really interesting. If you have kids there, let me know. I would like to also say hi to my dear friend, Pagariakan sa Marawi, Attorney Mino Makalandap, Mapia Kapipita, Attorney Mino. Arlene Aranas also. And if you have kids who want to hear their names read out on air, do let me know. Novi is also watching. Novi Rodriguez and the Rodriguez family. Hi to everyone there in the Rodriguez household. This is where Kuya Mark will talk about what's interesting. So you might want to call the kids and I will tell you something interesting about the Philippines. So in the next few days, we will be reading or giving you information about what's interesting about the Philippines, so you will love this country more. After reading the news and getting an update on something we can pray about, which is our friends in Cebu, which is really now the center of the spread of this virus. Let's continue to pray for the doctors there. Also, the delay in the implementation of the UHC. Let's talk about something interesting. Good morning, Mover Hector, Kuya Hector Villegas, and all our friends at Pertua. Continue to buy your engine oil so that Pertua and their business will continue to thrive. Louis Carl, trainer, speaker, events organizer all the way up north. Good morning, Louis and your friends and family. Okay, let's talk about what's interesting. This is the What's Interesting segment. All right, what's interesting in the Philippines? Okay, so what's interesting? What is interesting? Okay, today, what I will talk about is something that you might be interested to know because you're Filipinos. So this is more about the Philippines. And say hi to Danny Castrodes. Hi, Danny Castrodes. That's according to her grandpa, Nemuel Castrodes. Good morning, Nemuel Castrodes. Thanks for watching. Okay, I'd like to ask you a question, and if you have an answer, please type it down in the comment section. My question is, what were the Filipinos doing before the colonizers came to the Philippines? Ano po ang negosyo ng mga Pilipino bago pa dumating ang mga Espanyol at ibang mga mananakop or colonizers sa ating bansa? To those who can guess, I will give a prize, 10,000 happy points and my sincerest prayers to all of you. Oh, my dear classmate, Dr. Hanifa Makaraya, good morning. Good morning, good morning. My niece from LA, Kikay. All right, so, any answer? What were the Filipinos doing? Ano po ang trabaho o negosyo ng mga Pilipino dito sa ating bansa bago pa makarating ang mga Espanyol sa Pilipinas? Sige nga, pakisagot nga niyan at kung sino unang makakasagot will get a prize from me. Tingnan nga natin. Tingnan natin kung ano ang ating mga sagot. I'm waiting. Portia Saw from Canada as well. Good morning, Portia. I hope you're all doing well. Portia is a runner. I'm a fan of her running posts. Okay. Herbert Santiago. Okay. So, what's the negosyo of the Filipinos before the Spaniards came? You know what? When we go to school, the image of the Filipinos that were painted to us by the books that we read was of a Filipino na nakabahag, na pulube, na farmer, na parang na hunter-gatherer. And then there's a big gap. From hunter-gatherer, yung mga naghahanap lang ng pagkain sa forest. And then the next one is doon na yung ating mga colonizers. So kulang na kulang yung portion kung ano pa talagang negosyo natin. Were we just hunter-gatherers? Talagang nangongolekta lang tayo ng pwedeng makain at nangongolekta lang tayo ng pwedeng ma-fish sa dagat. So today, I will share with you something interesting. Good morning. Answer to your questions. Filipinos were merchants. That's according to my classmate, Dr. Makaraya. Okay. Ate Mitzi Lazaro says, we were barter traders. Okay. Fatima or Isa, hi Isa, from Cagayan de Oro says, we were fishermen. Okay. Now, we get a hint of what we were really when we go and research. And so Kuya Mark did a quick research on this. Actually, I've been researching about prehistory for quite a while now. And one of the documents that you will get when you're researching is called the Boxer Codex. Okay? Ano po itong Boxer Codex? Tingnan natin kung lalabas si Boxer Codex. Boxer Codex, appear. Screen is locked. Okay, tingnan natin si Boxer Codex. Sana lumabas ka. Sana lumabas ka. Ayaw niyang lumabas. Bakit ayaw niyang lumabas? Okay. Hindi ko alam kung bakit ayaw niyang lumabas. Prinactice ko na to kahapon. Okay, ito. Subukan natin, ha? There. Oh, there you go. You see that? Okay. Si Boxer is actually an artist. Kasama siya ng mga Espanyol. Kinabahan yung director ko na naman. Huminga ng malalim dahil ayaw lumabas ng aking gustong ipakita. Now, okay. If you see that, yan daw yung itsura ng mga Pilipino when the first foreign or Western colonizers came to the Philippines. Kita nyo yan? Kita nyo? Hindi po sila nakabahag. At itong Boxer Codex, ito po yung drino nila. Okay? Hi daw from Omelcar Mangorsi. Hi, Dr. Mangorsi. I keep saying hi. Okay. So, ito ang itsura ng mga Pilipino nung dumating sila sa Pilipinas. Hindi po sila simple. Magaganda po yung mga damit. This was when the first set of colonizers came to the Philippines. And this will give us a hint kung ano po ang negosyo. Alam nyo, pag pumunta kayo sa isang bansa, you will know kung ano ang kanilang negosyo by what they showcase in their national museum. So, pumunta ka ng London Museum, yung mga ancient artifacts coming from Greece, from Egypt, from Rome, yung mga bit-bit ng kanilang mga early explorers. Pag pumunta ka naman sa Japan, makikita mo naman yung mga gawa ng mga early Japanese emperors. Sa China, ganun din, ceramic. Now, you would get a hint kung ano yung preoccupation nila, silk, woodwork, etc., etc., ceramic, etc. Sa Pilipinas, ano ang makikita mo sa isa sa pinakamalaking museums dito sa bansa that will give you a hint doon sa unang negosyo ng mga Pilipino before the colonizers came? Ano po yun? Kita nyo yan? Anong napapansin nyo dyan sa picture na yan? Hi to all the Puna Club members, Sir Jumbo Gulanes, Coach Zen Mendiols, good morning. Ito po ang ating negosyo dati. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Konting palakpak daw muna. Konting palakpak. Nasaan na yung aking clapping function? I should have a clapping function. Applause! Did you hear that? Did you hear that applause? No. Walang narinig na applause. Okay. Ang Boxer Codex tells us na ang negosyo daw ng Pilipino bago pa makarating ang ating mga colonizers ay, tingnan nyo to. Yan. Tanggalin muna natin yung isa. Yun. Yan ang negosyo natin. Alam nyo, yung gold na yan, alam nyo kung saan na-discover yan? Yung gold na yan, na-discover yan sa Agusan. Sa Agusan yan. Akalang ng marami, si Boxer Codex ay kwento lang. Akala nila kwento lang yun. That's not true. So much gold in the Philippines, that's not true. But they discovered gold. When they found this gold hoard and an amazing set of gold, they figured that yung gold na kanilang nadiskubre actually matched the gold in the Boxer Codex. Meaning the pieces of gold that they discovered in Agusan, yung mga hilt ng sword, yung mga belt, yung mga kwintas, yung mga nagmatch siya dun sa drawing sa Boxer Codex, which now proves na yung Boxer Codex, which says na yung Filipino decorates their houses with gold. The Filipinos decorated their teeth with gold. They decorated their swords with gold. And we were trading gold all over the world. Did you hear that? We were trading gold from all over the world. Hindi lang po simpleng gold. Kita niyo yung gold na ano ba yan? Belt. According to goldsmiths, the quality of gold produced in the Philippines was so high, was so good, that even today, they're very hard to make. So meaning yung gold dati was not just ordinary gold. It was industrial level gold and the quality was superb and it was known all over. That's why when the Filipino traders coming from Holo, the Filipino traders coming from Kabadbaran or from Agusan, Butuan area, the Filipino traders coming from Mai, which according to Chinese records were, according to them, historians say it's from Mindoro, the traders from Ilocos, they were trading valuable products. And that's why they were welcomed in Champa, which is now trading port Vietnam, and Canton, which is now trading port China. At alam nyo kung saan pa nakarating ang gold ng Pilipinas? Saan nakarating ang gold ng Pilipinas? Diyan. Alam nyo kung sino siya? Siya ay si Cleopatra. According to researchers, in the 1st century Egypt, meron ng gold coming from the Philippines. Imagine, gold coming from the Philippines were already found in ancient Egypt. And what's interesting, you know what? This is something so interesting. You notice the necklace? Tingnan nyo yung necklace ni Cleopatra dyan. Diba? Kita nyo yung necklace niya? Para siyang beads. Diba? Para siyang beads when drawn in, when carved in stone. What's interesting is the name, and according to historians, if you reach a certain level of power in the Egyptian hierarchy of authorities, you get a certain necklace, yung necklace na yan. And they gave that necklace a name. And the name is so interesting. You know what the name of the necklace was? The name of the necklace was the Shebu collar. Shebu collar. Some people are saying that maybe it comes from Cebu City. Cebu being a trading port also, but I doubt if it comes from Cebu. You know what my suspicion is? And I believe this is so interesting because you look at their jewelry now, it actually looks the same. Except that it's no longer made of gold. But maybe in ancient times, all of their jewelry was made of gold. You know where I suspect the Cebu collar really comes from? I suspect it comes from Lake Cebu in Sarangani. Sarangani, right? Is it Sarangani or North Cotabato? Or South Cotabato? I'm so sorry for messing up my geography. The Lake Cebu is where the Tibolis are. Tibolis, I think, South Cotabato. Yes, South Cotabato. And that image I'm showing you now is part of the dig of ancient Philippine gold, and that exactly matched the collar of Cleopatra and the Egyptians. Look at the design. Look at the design. It actually looks like the beaded designs of... Wait, are you seeing it? There might be a quick delay, Trisha. There. Are you seeing it now? There. Okay. So that's the Cebu collar. If you notice, it's very similar to the design of the Tibolis. Tibolis. They wear the beads and they wear it long like that. And it's made of pure high-grade gold. And that high-grade gold reached all the way to Egypt. And that's why the Filipinos who were, according to another historian, when they went to Ilocos, they thought that the Ilocanos were Japanese because the Ilocanos were wearing silk. Look, they were wearing silk. They were not wearing ordinary clothing. They were wearing silk. Why were they wearing silk? Because they were trading with the Japanese. They were trading with the Spanish. There's gold in the Philippines from the north all the way to the south. From Benguet to Bicol to Samar to Agusan to Davao to all the way down to Zamboanga. All the way down to the southernmost port of the Philippines. And that's why this place is called the Land of Gold. That's why ang Pilipino minsan pag umasta, parang old rich. Kasi posibleng old rich talaga. Because we didn't have to work so hard. You know why? according to studies and to historians, when the first colonizers came, there was so much gold around and there were no gold mines. You know why there were no gold mines? Because they were just picking up golds from rivers. Pinupulot lang nila yung gold. According to Pigafetta, they look like nuggets, like walnuts. They pinupulot lang. Ngayon, they sift it in rivers, but you can just imagine back then, gold was so abundant, they were all over the place. And that's why we're really traders and businessmen. That's why yung aking mga kababayan doon sa Lanao, I grew up in Marawi, so mga pag-ariakan talagang we're traders. Yung ating mga kababayan we were traders. We're used to trading goods with countries in Asia, with countries even as far as Africa. See? So when colonizers came, we could not fight them because we're business people. And when you're a businessman, you don't need to conquer another businessman if your business is doing well. Kaya siguro wala tayong naging hari sa Pilipinas because we were all doing okay. People from the south are doing okay. People in the north were doing okay. Our friends in the Visayas are doing okay. So this is so interesting. We were actually well off. The question is, what happened? What happened? So along the way, something happened. We did not maximize our resources. Pero as we close this section or this portion of the show called What's Interesting, I would like to say that the true gold is really in the heart of the Filipino. Yes? Do you agree? Yung gold talaga nasa puso ng Pilipino because the Filipinos actually lend the world a hand. Ngayon, pumupunta po yung Pilipino across the globe no longer to bring physical gold, but really the gold of our friendship, the gold of our service. NHS, the National Healthcare System of UK or of Great Britain, marami doon Pinoy. Middle East, nurses Pinoy. My sister in Canada, Pinoy. Engineers, accountants, household workers, mga nani, mga yaya, mga tumutulong mag-alaga ng mga matatanda. So we're all over the world. We're traders, just like who we are before. But before we were bringing with us gold, now we're bringing with us our golden hearts. Our hearts to care, our hearts to show compassion to the old people and the sick people all over the world. And that's why Filipinos are so easy to love. So easy to love. Dito sa ating bansa, so easy to love pa rin ba? Minsan, hindi so easy to love dahil away tayo ng away. Wag naman. Wag tayo away ng away. Okay? Did you enjoy that segment? So para sa mga bata, okay, only kids will answer, okay? Kuya Mark wants to ask while I drink my water. Kuya Mark wants to ask, ano ang tawag nung document that recorded the image of the Filipinos when the colonizers came? What was the name of that document? Sige nga, please type in the contents below. Pakisulat nga. Go. Please type in the contents. Kuya Mark ay iinom muna ng water. Yes, Kuya James. Kuya James Bayeta says, we were part of the Silk Road. Absolutely. The reason why it reached the Egypt is because of that. Yung ating gold nakarating dun sa silk is Chinese product. They were trading it here. Napakaganda po ng kwento ng ating bansa. So, are the kids answering my question? Ano ang tawag nung document that recorded trading in Arabs and South and Chinese? Yes, according to attorney Jocelyn Makute. Okay? So kids, ano nga yung sagot dun sa question ni Kuya Mark? So, ito while the Philippines is no longer a rich country because of some mistake that we committed along the way, but our natural resources are so rich, but we need to just get our acts together, if we could get our acts together and govern well. But that's also the struggle. Kasi nga kung kagaya dati in ancient times, puro tayo negosyante, puro tayo traders. So we're really transactional. Kumbaga nego-negosyo lang yung ating relationship sa isa't isa. Hi to the Tagaros from Osamis. Hi to Tags team. Hi to my cousin Mayan. Happy birthday to Mama. Hi to Leia from Japan. If I understand, Japan, Leia is in Japan now. Okay. The name of the document is called the Boxer Codex. The Boxer Codex, Mr. Boxer was part of the group of explorers that went around Asia. Yung Boxer Codex did not just contain drawings of ancient Filipinos or Filipinos at the time the colonizers first came. It also contained images of Japanese and Chinese and other nations in Asia. Okay? So yan po yung ating kwento ni Kuya Mark sa araw na ito. It's the story of who we were before the colonizers came, and the story is much grander. The story is much more interesting than we were taught in grade school. At napakalungkot na ganyan ang naging image sa utak ng mga Pilipino na talagang pulubi, itinerant, hunter-gatherers. Ganun lang ang image na nabuo sa ating mga isipan when in fact archaeological facts tell us na napaka-rich ng ating history. Nabura lang yun pero pilit nating binabalik. Kaya si Kuya Mark together with other speakers as we begin to communicate and give confidence to our leaders when we do corporate trainings, we tell them of who we were before we were subjugated by our colonizers. Hi to my dear friend, Khalid Tumawis, my roommate, Engineer Romel Tala, maayong buntag sa ato mga kaigsuunan diha sa Cebu, and to our friends in Iligan. Okay? So, keep in mind, my friends, posibleng naghihirap tayo ngayon, but don't feel bad about this nation. We had a glorious past. I could confidently say that now, and we will have a glorious future. We just need to get our acts together because we did not have a common state na national before. Kanya-kanya tayo negosyo. Kaya importanteng matuto tayo na mabuo bilang isang bansa. Well, it will take some time. It will take some time to be united and to think of institutions, to think of the interest of the common good, to think of the nation. Dahil nga, medyo transactional yung ating approach sa buhay, being traders back in our past. Alright, saying hi to my sister Sui in Green Hills, Ate Miles Valdez, Vic Buenaventura. Good morning, my friends. Hi, my daughter, Moraya Bien. Okay, so, it's 8:45. It's 8:45, 15 minutes to go, and I hope this becomes part of your morning habit. I promise you this can supplement the social studies of the children, and I will keep this rated G. I used to be, by the way, the vice chairman of MTRCB, so I know my ratings well. So we will make sure that this is G. I will talk about, if I do talk about something controversial, which I will be talking about in a short while, I will make sure I will talk about it in an objective, unbiased manner, and I will attempt to do that. In this day and age, napakahirap daw pong gawin yan, pero susubukan ko. And so as we proceed to our last and final segment of this show, we ask the question, now, Kuya Mark, what's trending? Okay, what's trending on social media? You know what's trending. Can you type down the comments below? What's trending? What's trending on social media? The debate rages on. The debate over the conviction of Maria Ressa for the crime of libel. Talagang napakatindi ang debate sa usaping ito. And this morning, as I talk about what's trending, I would like to just share with you four things. I would like to share with you four things, okay? And what is my goal in talking about what's trending? My goal is to make sure that even as we face days where people are debating, that we could move ahead and face the future in a positive way. Meaning, yun yung aking point number one. Point number one is, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the Republic of the Philippines. While it is true that some institutions might suffer, while it is true that some of the rights of Filipinos might be threatened by certain actions of government, so long as we continue to debate, so long as we continue to fight on social media, so long as we continue to fight on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, so long as people continue to express their opinions in radio, TV, and news, we're good. We're good. Buhay ang demokrasya. Kaya itong gulo, it's the sign of life. Life, there's always conflict in life. When there's no longer conflict, maybe there's no longer any life in us or life in any society. In fact, the absence of conflict, the absence of dissent is a very, very bad sign. And so, even as it rages on, we should look at it with a happy disposition. Me, I'm happy seeing my friends debate. Why? Because they're debating. Lawyers are on either side of this issue, and I see friends most eloquently explaining their positions. That's good. Okay? So, tuloy-tuloy lang po yun. Ang pangalawa, napakahalaga na when we engage in issues like this, that we do not forget that having opinions or having positions on social issues or political issues is just a little part of human life. Meaning, the position that I take on this Maria Ressa does not define me. It does not define you. Whether you are for or against this decision, it does not define who you are. So for example, si Kuya James Bayata says, agree siya kay Judge. Halimbawa lang, hindi ko alam kung anong position ni Kuya James. Kuya James Barreta is actually a chemist who runs the laboratory of one of the most respected mining companies in the world. So, does that define Kuya James? No. And that's why it's important for us to realize that our opinions should be expressed also in a manner that respects the rest of their lives. So for example, kausap ko si Attorney Abet Datudakula. He will have his opinion here. But do I know his entire life? If I know him for who he is, I will most likely respect him more. And I will not limit my respect of him by the opinion that he took on this particular issue. Okay? So the first point I want to share is on this, what's trending. This debate, the dissent, is sign that our democracy is well. Tuloy-tuloy lang ang debate. Pangalawa, whatever opinion that you hold and express towards one another on social media, remember that person's opinion does not define him. So respetuhin natin ang isa't isa dahil hindi naman po natin kilala ang lahat ng tao. Sabi po ni Ate Jeje Quizon from Antipolo. Respect the opinions of others. In fact, ganito po yan. Paano kung talagang medyo offensive or talagang people are taking it personal? I am amazed how people react a certain way. I'm amazed. I take control of my social media. People know that. Kontrolado ko po yung aking social media. But I'm amazed but I respect them for who they are. Okay? So sabi nga ni Kuya James Bayata, I still love Leia regardless. Yes, because the opinion of Leia Salonga on a particular issue does not define Leia Salonga. Leia Salonga is the Lea Salonga. Alright? So yun po yung pangalawang bagay. Okay. Pangatlong bagay dito sa issue ng conviction ni Maria Ressa. Napakahalaga po that whenever a nation faces a critical incident, critical issue, critical development like this one, that we all should take it as an opportunity to educate ourselves. As an opportunity to educate ourselves. What do I mean? This is an opportunity to educate ourselves. Ano ba talaga ang proseso sa pag-convict ng isang tao? Anong proseso niyan? Saan nagsisimula yan? Anong basihan ng judge? Ano yung role ng executive versus yung role ng judiciary? Take it as an opportunity to mature our understanding of how things work in our country, lalo na po sa ating mga anak. So pag for example, nagtanong po yung ating mga anak, ano po itong kay Maria Ressa, ma? Ano po itong nangyayari sa Pilipinas? If we just answer, wala na talaga, then we do not educate. Then we don't take that as an opportunity to inform the generations after us how to run this country better. Kaya, my suggestion is this. Napakahaba po nung desisyon. Actually, hindi po yun masyadong mahaba. Mas marami pang mas mahabang desisyon akong nabasa. Lalo na pag umabot na sa Supreme Court. Napakagandang basahin yung kabuuan nung desisyon na yon. Okay? Now, i-explain ko sa iyo ng konti kung paano magbasa ng desisyon. Kasi, posibleng once na, okay, sabihin nyo, okay, I want to be informed. So I will read that RTC decision. And then you start reading it at talagang kung hindi ka abogado, magugulantang ka. Talagang masyasyak ka sa mga terms doon at hindi mo siya maintindihan. Kaya maganda kung meron kang mga abogadong kaibigan na, but just plod on. Para kang ituring mo yung sarili mo as a freshman law student. All freshman law students struggle reading their first cases. Pag inassign na yung mga cases, talagang hirap na hirap kami. So, basahin lang kasi dun sa isang decision ng court, naka-outline doon kung ano ang posisyon ni Maria Ressa at yung kanyang mga abogado, ano yung posisyon nung umuusig sa kanya, at ano yung naging procedure, ano yung naging proseso ng korte at nung kung paano nakarating doon sa puntong yun yung kaso. And then, lastly, i-explain ng judge issue by issue paano siya nakarating sa desisyon na yon. Now, agree ka man o disagree sa desisyon na yon, kapag binasa mo yung desisyon na yon, you will be informed and you will be educated and you will mature. And if you share what you have discovered to your children, they will become better than you. They will become better than us. Yun po yung napakahalaga. Okay? Yun po yung napakahalaga na, again, let's take this as an opportunity to inform ourselves and to improve the generations after us. Okay? First one, it's not the end of the world. Buhay ang ating demokrasya. Pangalawa, although syempre may ups and downs yung demokrasya. Pangalawa, hindi kabuuan ng tao ang kanyang opinion. Hindi ako agree dun sa isang philosopher before who said, I think, therefore I am. No, your thoughts are not what defines you. Your thoughts do not define you para sa akin. Kasi isang parte lang yun ng tao. Pangatlo, let's take it as an opportunity to mature. Let's take it as an opportunity to mature. And finally, pang-apat na gusto kong sabihin, my friends, ipagdasal po natin ang ating mga leaders. Kagaya nung judge na yon, siya po ang nagdesisyon. Ipagdasal po natin siya. Yung ating mga, kasi i-elevate nila yan sa Court of Appeals, pagdasal po natin yung mga ating mga leaders ng ating bansa. Dahil wala po tayong control doon. You can express your opinions on social media, but it's good for us to pray for our leaders, to pray for our judges, to pray for our prosecutors, to pray for the lawyers involved in the case, because as we pray for them, God will give them clarity of mind and they will gain wisdom. Okay? So sa araw na ito, yun po ang ating pinag-usapan. Una, nagbasa po tayo ng news. Medyo malungkot po yung news ng konti. For Cebu, yung ating kailangan pagdasal na bumagal, makontrol at yung ating frontline workers ma-manage na maayos at hindi sila magkasakit. Balita naman sa Philippine Daily Inquirer na delayed muna ang implementation ng Universal Health Law dahil nga kulang ang pondo sa collection ng PhilHealth na ating bansa. But para sa akin, that might be good because we actually need to prepare all the other aspects of the rollout of that law na medyo matagal-tagal pa po yun. And then we talked about what's so interesting about Philippine prehistory na bago pa makarating ang mga Espanyol ay tayo ay napaka galing na bansa. We were trading on valuable goods. Napakagaling po natin kasi tayo po marunong maglayag. Hindi po tayo takot sa bagyo. Kaya nga po yung na-discover yung mga balangay, napakagaganda po yun ng mga barko. And then finally, we talked about what's trending, which is the issue of Maria Ressa. And I shared with you 4 things. I hope those 4 things will stay in our hearts and our minds para po hindi po tayo mawalan ng lakas ng loob. Okay, maraming salamat din po sa ating mga friends from Boracay. I'd like to say my last hi and hello to Mayron Dael, to Margot Sacapanyo of Boracay. Sino? Okay, and then I would like to also say hi to Lenny Cobangbang, to Coach Joel Villa. Coach Joel Villa was our swimming coach. Ate Elma Ropeta and our friends from Diwa Publishing. I am a Batobalani kid. Who knows, I will do a feature on Batobalani soon. Kuya Ferds Briguera from Unilab. Ate Rohaifa. To Junrich Arcana, the Arcana couple. Keep safe always. Take care of the baby. And to Pocholo, De Leon Gonzalez. Choy, we might talk about that in the coming days, but who knows, we'll consider that. So, I hope you catch me again on Friday. This is going to be a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Bring along the kids. Watch. You can show this. You can start watch parties. And I would like to invite you to head over now to YouTube and click subscribe. And if you haven't liked this page yet, itong Marc Castrodes public page, please do so. Please click the like button here so you will be updated for all the shows that we will be putting out. So, I hope you will see me regularly because this is Mark Your Day. Thank you for joining me on this pilot episode. I had a great time. We started off a bit jittery, but we somehow warmed up as we went along. We will add the bells and whistles. We might interview a few people in the coming days. So stick around. This is Mark Your Day. Have a great day ahead. God bless.